Hi, good evening. My name is Joseph Atta. Recording to you live from Ghana, West Africa. I am in Takoradi, using my own room as a recording studio. You are welcome to Mining for the Truth, which refers to the process of digging to discover the undiluted doctrines of Christ. I attend Church of Christ. I have a short sermon for you, but before then, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need 100 and more subscribers so that I can qualify to record live on YouTube. Now, I have a short sermon for you, and the title is, Who is your friend and counselor? Who is your friend and counselor? We're going to talk about a family. So Amnon, we have Jonadab and then Tamar. Amnon and Tamar, their father was David. Of course, Jonadab had a different father. 2 Samuel 13 verse 3. So 2 Samuel 13 verse 3. Who is your friend and counselor? So by introduction, let's go to Psalm 1 verse 1. I read, Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. And the meaning of scoffers are people who make fun, who mock people, especially who are passing by, or deliberately they speak in contempt of people. And normally they laugh. So basically, the Bible is warning us that we should not sit or we should not walk in the counsel of the wicked, and also stand in the way of sinners. You are welcome to the story, as I've mentioned earlier, as an incest. The story is about an incest which took place where Amnon raped his half-sister Tamar due to lust. Now go to Matthew 5 verse 28 before we start doing justice to the topic. Matthew 5 verse 28. But I say to you that whosoever looks at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So at the end, we will see, did Amnon loved Tamar or he lusted? And why did he do that for? Because they were siblings. Now, if you want the full story, start from 2 Samuel 13 verse 1 to 18. It's where you find the full story. Let me give you some brief introduction about Amnon, or the whole story. Now, Amnon was the eldest son of David, or King David. He was the oldest, if you want. He was the oldest son of King David. And his mother was Ahinoam. Ahinoam, Ahinoam. And this woman was the second wife of King David. Now, the cousin of Amnon and a friend was Jonadab. So Jonadab was not just a friend of Amnon, but they were cousins. Because Amnon's father was David. And Jonadab's father was Shimea. And this Shimea was David's brother. Now, 2 Samuel. Let's prove this. 2 Samuel 13, verse 3 and 32 is where you can prove that indeed Jonadab was not just a friend to Amnon, but also they were siblings. And of course, son of David's brother, Shimea. So 2 Samuel 13 verse 3, I read. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shimea, David's brother. And Jonadab was a very crafty man. Verse 32. Okay, I'm there. But Jonadab, the son of Shimea, David's brother. So the interest is to prove that, though 2 Samuel 13 verse 3 is saying that Amnon had a friend called Jonadab. They were not just friends, they were siblings. So we are saying that David's son was Amnon, and David's brother's son was Jonadab. So they were half brothers, they were cousins, if you want to put, and also they were friends. Amnon had siblings, half siblings, Absalom and Tamar. You are hereby informed that Tamar was a sister of Absalom. We mean to say that from the same parents, but Amnon was from a different mother. This makes Tamar half sister to Amnon. So Tamar was not a exact sister of Amnon. Now, I will narrate the story to you, and then later we will look at, we will continue with Amnon. Now, Amnon lasted after Tamar. If you go to 2 Samuel 18, verse 1 and 2. So verse 3 is when he complained to Jonadab. So verse 5 to 6, or from 4 to 5, was when Jonadab advised him to pretend to be ill and demand from his father David that only Tamar must cook and serve him on his bed. His wicked plan worked, and at the end, he raped Tamar. So Tamar went and told Absalom, and Absalom too killed Amnon at the end. So here we are saying that the Hebrew word Amnon means faithful. The Hebrew word Amnon, of course, his name was a Hebrew name, or you can say it's a Hebrew name. It is called faithful. I mean, when you translate from the Hebrew by using a good concordance, the Bible should not be read as a newspaper or graphic anyway. So that a translation of Amnon means faithful, but he lived the opposite of his name. So we are going to learn about 7 traits, or let's say some 7 things that we can deduce from Amnon. 1, he wrongly chose a friend who was crafty. He wrongly chose a friend who was crafty. If you read 2 Samuel 13 verse 3 to 5, by Samuel we are saying that Jonadab was a crafty man. Now the word crafty there means that sensible in wickedness. So this was no good sense here. That's why we're saying that blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked. So Jonadab was a subtle man or crafty man, but he was sensible in wickedness. So the first is that Amnon wrongly chose a friend who was crafty, and this means that he was sensible in wickedness. Now point 2, he was incestuous if you want. So incestuous. So that's what we read in 2 Samuel 13 verse 1 and 2. Verse 6 to 15. In fact, he even fell ill. He didn't know what to do. He was totally confused. So it was a lust. And the lust poisoned his whole system. And therefore, he was more or less like someone who was ill. So we say he was incestuous. Now point 3. He was a fool who made pleasure in wicked schemes. He was a fool who made pleasure in wicked schemes. Now, let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs 10, verse 23a. Proverbs 10, verse 23a. I read. We are only on the A. Doing wrong is like a joke to a fool. That's why we're saying that he was a fool who found pleasure in wicked schemes. To do evil is like a sport to a fool. When we say a sport, we mean form of entertainment. And we have read in the Bible that doing wrong is like a joke to a fool. Now, point 4. He was a foolish son who grieved his mother. Amnon was a foolish son who grieved his mother. We are still on Proverbs 19 verse 13a. Of course, Proverbs was written by King Solomon, and they are all in the same family. Proverbs, 10 verse 1b. Proverbs 10 verse 1b. 10 verse 1b. But a foolish son is a sorrow to his mother. But a foolish son is a sorrow to his mother. That's why we are saying that he was a foolish son who grieved his mother. Now, different versions will say that a foolish son is the grief of his mother. Now, point 5. He was a foolish son who ruined his father. Amnon was a foolish son who ruined his father. We are still on Proverbs 19, verse 13a. So we are still using King Solomon to correct his own brother Amnon. 19, verse 13a. A foolish son is ruin to his father. It clearly indicated that a foolish son is the ruin of his father. Ruin of his father. Now, point 6. He was assassinated by Absalom due to a nursed bitter grudge. Nursed bitter grudge for raping Tamar after 2 years. Now, if you go to 2 Samuel 13, verse 22 and 23, let's see something there. That Absalom, you see, initially, he pretended to comfort Tamar that, oh, don't worry, but Amnon is your own brother, so don't worry. Not knowing that he has nursed bitter grudge, and therefore he didn't speak with Amnon for 2 years. And it was in these same 2 years where he plotted to kill him as vengeance. So 2 Samuel 13, verse 22 and 23. But Absalom spoke to Amnon neither good nor bad, for Absalom hated Amnon because he had violated his sister Tamar. Verse 23. Now, after 2 full years, Absalom had sheep shearers at Balhazor, which is near Ephraim. And Absalom invited all the king's sons. Yes, so this invitation also included Amnon. Of course, Absalom also went to King David to plead that he allow them to go for an excursion, if you want to put it. Now, go to verse 28 and 29 of the same 2 Samuel 18. Absalom instructed his servant that when Amnon is drunk or was drunk, they should kill him. So at the end, he died. That's why we're saying that he was assassinated by Absalom. So 2 Samuel 18, verse 22 and 23, verse 28 to 29. Now the last point, he was destroyed for companioning with the foolish friend Jonadab. We are still in the same Proverbs 13, verse 20b. The Proverbs 13, verse 20b. But the companion of fools will suffer harm. So we say that he was destroyed for companioning with the foolish friend Jonadab. So you see that because of wrong choice of friend, wrong choice of a counselor, has led to his premature death. By conclusion, we go to Ephesians 5, verse 15 to 17. It reads, "Be careful how you walk as wise, not a fool." Verse 16, "Redeeming the time because the days are evil." Now, Ephesians 5, verse 15 and verse 16 are all warnings, or we say they are all caveats. Now, verse 17 is saying that it means if I've refused to listen to the caveat in 15 and 16, now it is saying that, therefore do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. Once again, my name is Joseph Vata, and I thank you for joining me mining for the truth. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until then, see you again next time. Bye-bye.